Hello and welcome to Forgotten Temples with myself, Mr. B. And stop. That's about as far as we go with this temple, which is in fact, by the way, a hospital. Because I've just shot a film of this. A monk came up to me. He didn't speak English, but he was pointing at certain things and we managed to work some bits out. It was then he guided me across this grass verge and into some rooms over there. And what laid within was quite literally pirate treasure. Chest after chest of pirate treasure could have been opened in front of me. What he showed me was skeletons, he showed me jewellery, he showed me funeral pots, he even showed me the statue of the god that actually lived here. Now this is amazing to me, that I have travelled nigh on 60,000 kilometres. I have seen hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of temples, and I have never met a god that actually resided in the temple I have been to. It is astonishing what these people have collected, and it was all dug up at this very site. So, on this little adventure, we will go back in time, for that is what that monk has done. He took me into these special sacred rooms and gave me special access, and he literally turned the pages of time back, and we can see so much of what came from that era. This is a corridor I won't much forget walking round, and I'm holding the microphone because there's a chap over there with a weed whacker. Now, where the camera is, directly behind this image, is something so astonishing to someone like myself, I'm compelled to make a whole video of it. So, allow me to get hold of this camera, and we will be able to see deep, and I do mean deep, into the past and actually connect with those ancients that I have been following for nigh on 50,000 kilometres. Now, if it was not for this monk, I would not have seen the amazing, and I'm not using this word in any superfluous way, the amazing treasure trove that these people have recovered from that brief piece of footage at the front, that temple that we saw. Firstly, let me go over here. This is a skeleton of one of those ancients. I have never ever seen one, and I don't know if this museum is even on Google Maps. I did not spot it. And the reason I'm going backwards is because these pots here are in fact funeral pots. So this gentleman here, I believe it to be a gentleman by the length of his legs, would have been taken out of one of these. And there are other human remains. This is part of a hip joint, I believe. It is just quite incredible, but it gets even more astonishing. Now, remember, these have been dug out of the ground right here at this location where I am in Thailand, and they are over 1,000 years old. And look at them. They're in absolute pristine condition. You can see the detailing on top of these pots, and as to how this one survived with its long neck is an absolute mystery to me. But if you want more, let's have a look at this. Do you see this beautiful figure of an elephant's head embossed? And these last two, could they be any more Roman in their design if they tried? But there's so much more. Because as we move away from the pots, we see something that really excites me, and that is tools. I have never ever seen tools. At the top here, this looks like an arrowhead, a spearhead would be more correct. And down here, I could not say what these are. Unfortunately, the monk does not speak English, but here we certainly have a tool that would have been used to hew stone. Now, if that is not enough, and I'll probably say that an awful lot, we have here ancient knives, which somehow have survived, and it must have something to do with the acidity of the soil. And here we have chains. Now, my guess is that they would have been used to harness the elephants in some way. And from those chains, it just gets more and more spectacular. Remember, nobody comes here. Look at this creature at the back here. He is a toad. And you see next to him in the center of your screen now, that is a tortoise. And all of this has been dug out of the ground. Now, what you see next to it are these tablets, and they are depictions of Buddha. The triangular one just here is many little Buddhas. And I have a theory on that I will share with you in a moment. But look at them. They were digging up find after find. It is absolutely amazing. But as I say, there is so much more. Now, what you're looking at is a piece of reflecting glass. And what's behind it, I promise you, took my breath away. It is absolutely amazing. And it's only through the kindness of that monk you saw in the opening shot that I was able to find this. Now, it's not just that. I don't know if you can see in the shot. There's a door there that will get me behind this piece of glass. And it's a privileged few who've ever got inside. And I'm going to take you inside, because what is inside is the God that lived in the temple that you saw at the very front end of this video. So let me pick up the camera and let's go inside. This is a treasure amongst treasures. And here we go. Honestly, in here, there's various bits of masonry. But atop of this red pedestal is an ancient god. All the statues have been looted, but this one must have been hidden because they dug him up right here. And you are staring into the face of Buddha. And I have travelled so far, and I have never, and I mean never, seen anything of this level. What is absolutely remarkable is his condition. Even in museums, you do not see them with all their arms. So allow me to introduce to you a mighty God. Now I feel I need to take a moment to breathe, and I've started the camera early, just as the monk is going around unlocking the door, turning on the lights and doing all these other things, because this area, just like all the others, is usually closed, locked off, and nobody really comes here. But what lays here is just astonishing. Not only have we seen funeral pots and skeletons, not only have we seen bracelets and tools and chains, and we've even seen the God that dwelled within the temple. This is all one piece would stagger me. I've literally fallen into a cave, a treasure trove that is just brimming. It's like a pirate's chest, and you open it up and it's just burdened with jewels and rubies and emeralds. It's just unbelievable. But this is the last room. And here, oh my goodness, there is some absolute beauties. So where does one start? Well, let's start over here for this magnificent piece. I'm going to press my phone right up against the camera. What we have here is a king or a warrior, I could not say. And he sits atop of this mighty Garuda. Now remember, all of this was found at that temple where I opened up this shop, which is in fact a hospital. And here you see a warrior or so sitting atop of a water buffalo. Now I'm going to continue this shot and come over to here, because what lays within this case are these like amulets. Now these I know to be replications of Buddha. That would easily fit in the palm of your hand. This is much smaller. Now my theory is that these, because there's quite a few of them, would potentially have been bought by people to wish them, good luck and a speedy recovery. Because as I say, we are looking at a hospital. And as you can see, there is more of them over to the right and the left. But I need to go down on my knees, and I do so happily, because in these lower cases that no one would really notice, we see yet more. But it's this piece here that fascinates me. Have a look at the detailing on this. Now, my guess is that some sort of buckle or a brooch. If it was found in the Roman era, that's certainly what it is. Now, what it depicts, I can't say, but the work on it is so fine and so detailed. And remember, all of this is nigh on 1,000 years old and was dug out of the ground. Now, there's another one I wish to show you, and it is right here. At the back, we have these hollowed out bits of pipe. I couldn't say what they are. They could be metal, they could be bone. But they would have been maybe used as sort of beads, something to string, and then hang round the neck. But what really excites me in this case are these bracelets. I mean, 1,000-year-old. And they would have been round the wrists of some fine lady or some dignitary or alike, or maybe one of those ancient priests. And somehow, and goodness knows how, they have survived all those centuries in the soil. And now we can look upon them and wonder. Life is an amazing thing. And what I've learned, and some of you will know that I have recovered from an addiction that nearly killed me on multiple occasions, is keep your eyes on the horizon. For over the horizon are the most wonderful things. And if it wasn't for me meeting this wonderful monk, thank you, thank you, thank you, and him saying, he doesn't speak English, he's just beckoning me, and all of a sudden he opens the treasures of the ancients, and he does even more. He opens the locked doors and allows me to actually look into the faces of the gods, and I have yearned to do that. After 50,000 kilometers, I have met a God that is as close as dang it in his actual temple. I have seen hundreds upon hundreds of temples that have just been looted and devoid. For the first time ever, the God was here. And I can honestly say that really touches me deeply. I hope that this little, adventure, this turning back the pages and looking into the past has excited you just a fraction of the amount it's excited me. And please, if you have the time, join me again on another adventure. But for now, as always, I'm going to wish you absolutely nothing but, of course, the very best. And one last thank you to a new friend.
Okay.
Thank you, Arkon Tran.
Satu.
Thank you.
Satu.
Tattoo.
ครับ